Thanks a lot, General Ganguly. You, in fact, enlightened everyone throughout that slides which you presented, and I think no more justice to the topic which was given to us than what you've done right away. I'll kind of like move away from the entire pharmacology which was presented by General Ganguly. I come from Sajanan Medical Technologies, and this is Asia's largest stent manufacturing cardiovascular disease medical device company. We've got presence in almost around 100 countries now, and a very proud Make in India domestic device company, which is really giving a task to our MNC colleagues, who are in the same business, in fact. So. When when General Ganguly talked about the entire vaccine journey, he also mentioned about the innovative products and innovative vaccines which were out, and today we are actually witnessing them pretty much every big company, whether it's Pfizer, whether it's Moderna, they're coming up with the best vaccines which we have, and that's why innovation is very important. So the part B of this particular talk, which was supposed to be a panel discussion, also delves into innovation. So I'll just take you to not to the pharmacology part of it, but medical device part of it. Incidentally, India as a country is almost around 80% import driven when you talk about medical devices. So we import almost like we're dependent over 80%, and I wouldn't say it's an unfortunate state, but it's the innovation and development which has now started to grow in the country, and slowly will actually be able to reduce the burden. Will actually be able to take upon certain new technologies, take upon certain new innovative devices that India would be able to really produce here, not only produce in India but produce for the world. We looked at the last slide which General Ganguly talked about when he said India came to the rescue of those countries which actually were not now able to get those vaccines which are engulfed by the richer nations or maybe the developed countries. This is what has been lagging here when we talk about the medical device industry. The start of the pandemic, in fact, if you recall, if everyone goes back to February, March last year, ppe kits, gloves, masks, there's like, it's only someone who was a regular visitor in hospitals would have known about it. I mean, I never thought that at the end of the day, at one point of time, I would actually wear a ppe kit and be going down the streets and going to hospital and delivering our products or getting our guys to actually have last moment essentials there. So we never had that kind of a production in India. And today, I'm really happy to tell you that the domestic industry rose to the occasion. Today, we have over 150 industries in the SME sector itself, the small and medium scale sector itself, which produce all of these things, whether it's a glove, whether it's mask, goggles, you had this face shields, these ambu bag ventilators which were required down at the rural areas. Everything is now indigenously available. That's a different thing today. The production is so much that stocks are really piling up on a daily basis and inventories are really not moving. But today we are one of the mass production countries in the world. And you know in fact, if I take you to cardiovascular diseases, for instance, stents. Couple of years back, we would have only thought of stents coming from maybe US MNCs or UK MNCs in India. Today, if we look at this pandemic year, which is almost over by this month end, the next month end, India is not only a net exporter of cardiovascular stents in the European Union and the Middle East or the ASEAN regions, but we are also producing over 62% of stents here in the country, which is actually enough for the entire population. So if I talk about it, two companies itself have really taken this kind of a Make in India or an Atmanirbhar Bharat story together and been able to take that decisive moment forward to us. Now, for that, obviously, innovation requires a larger chunk of it, and R&D, as General Ganguly said, takes an enormous time. I mean, anything between 7 to 10 years is what you spend on coming out with one product. But unfortunately, with medical devices, the problem is that we are not 100%, medicine kind of a thing. We are an engineered product, so the replicability needs to be fast. I cannot say that my stent is going to be, एक साल use करिए, you'll use it for 1 year and then you'll be having the right results. It's not that what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say that even for an engineered product, you need to have constant R&D. You need to have an innovation which takes you from one. It started from a bare metal stent, then you went into sirolimus stents, and now you have the drug-eluting stents. The story kept on going above, and that is only because the R&D prowess within the country has now increased to a level best. I'll give you an example. I mean, today, if you look at the union budget itself, the amount of finances which has been parked for not only innovation, R&D, but the amount of finances which have now been parked for academic institutions to work around with medical device and the pharma industry is huge. The NIPERS, which people never knew about, the National Institute of Pharmacologies, people never knew about them. Who knew that Ahmedabad, Guwahati, and other places had these institutes which were talking about pharmacology, which were talking about medicines, which were producing these kind of skilled manpower. Today, they are signing MOUs with medical device companies, right, left, and center, to come up with a skilled course in the medical device industry itself. That's a part of it, the entire, ecosystem which is going to be built. You talk about medical device parks which are coming up. You talk about the kind of, ecosphere which is going to be developed. Today, even the best of the country states which have the wherewithal of coming up with a medical device park is looking to not only join the dots through its R&D, but also through warehousing facilities, through roadways, through airports, through various, environmental programs which can be imbibed in those medical devices parks, so that there is enough innovation and R&D which is happening. So that's the kind of innovation and R&D culture which is going to now lead up to. I'll actually, also look at the fact that we would also looking at, with the kind of academic institutions being linked, it's not only brain drain, but it's now more brain gain which is happening. Today, everyone is looking at the fact that if I have an innovative product, or if I have something which is really a stealth product with a proper R&D done around it, it's the acceptability is going to go much, much higher. The entire Ayushman Bharat scheme itself, if you look at it, it's right from the aspirational districts to, the small town villages. These guys never looked at a 5 lakh rupee insurance giving them something like a complete heart operation done, or maybe not even a heart operation, or these guys never even looked at something like आज की डेट में हर्निया का भी इलाज वो कभी करवा पाते या नहीं करवा पाते. But that's because, the country itself looked at financing a model where you have a bare rate product which is available to you to really make that kind of output with disease management. So even when the finance minister talked about new and emerging diseases, that's a new area which will be really marked in for. We looked at vaccines. Sir talked about vaccines, and there's a whole lot of new vaccines which are now coming up. We've saw strains of Brazil, Nigeria, Britain. There's another strain which is coming up. So these flurries are gonna go up. The amount of innovation and R&D, I mean, to what I support General Ganguly around what his entire talk is immaculate. I mean, we're already kind of like 15 minutes over the allotted time, but why I thought, and I'll give 10 odd minutes around, talking on innovation is that it's now the age and era where India will rise up to the entire world and be the, Atmanirbhar provider to almost like the entire LMIC countries which we are looking at. So I'll kind of like end here, but yeah, I mean it's a journey which I think we are embarking, and with conducive policies, with de-governance, which the Prime Minister also talks about, that let's not have too much of governance around. We will be able to make that mark. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.